Hello TVS Gaming, this is Shadowsfit here, and I'm here today doing another mod spotlight for you. Actually, a few mod spotlights for you from Elder Scrolls v Skyrim. Now, the first one is actually right beside Whiterun. This is the castle and the actual kingdom of Riverhelm. And as you can see, I'm being followed by one of my royal guards, or an elite archer if you want to call it that. And this is pretty much a kingdom mod that was basically allowing me to become the king of Riverhelm. Now, I can show you exactly what I mean. This is a huge mod. This is made by the same person who made the other mod that I'm going to show you later on, which is the Jarl of Ivarstead. As you can see, this is the, let me go ahead and close all the gates. As you can see, this is the castle part of the mod of Riverhelm. So let's go ahead and go inside the main castle. And how you actually become the king is you need to have some money with you. Now we are in the Riverhelm main hall, or the Hall of Riverhelm if you want to call it that. And up here would be my Baron, and my Baron is who you want to talk to if you wish to purchase property or a title in Riverhelm. For the longest time I was actually trying to Google what's actually doing this mod because for some reason I guess I didn't quick save it or quick load it in time. The Baron unfortunately glitched out and I couldn't do anything with him. So what can I do in Riverhelm? Well, Riverhelm is pretty much a giant mod. I also have the High King mod if you see that right there. But basically this is partially a castle, partially an entirely new city. And it's about as big a city size as the Solitude is. The castle size is about the size of Whiterun, maybe bigger than that. But I'm basically going to show you what my actual chambers looks like. And as you can see, the guards are wearing medieval armor. That's interesting that I haven't mentioned earlier. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you my bed chambers. Now as you can see, this is actually a corridor area, well I'm going to show you pretty soon. And each one of these rooms is a separate place for your, not followers, but your nobles, such as your Baron, your Commander, your Lord Commander, and a bunch of others. Now this right here is my main quarters. And voila, it's pretty impressive. It's not as impressive as some of the other houses, but it's pretty impressive. Now, going down here, let's go ahead and show you my secret chamber. This is the secret chamber of Riverhelm, or the King's Chamber if you want to call it that. It is down this way. The other way actually leads to an exit to Skyrim. This is pretty much a emergency underground exit. Now this is something I'm still getting used to. This is a huge sanctuary for the king. Not exactly sure what's all in here. I know that there are basically mannequins and armory stashes, but that's about it. This giant statue of a reaper, I believe, is still a mystery to me. But as you can see, it's very beautiful. You know, I'm not exactly sure if it's just a scenery object or if it's actually a part of something like bigger. But yeah, it's very beautiful, and this is a very nice looking getaway, I guess you can say. Fire instead of water, or like a hot tub, but it's still nice. And there's a ton of mannequins for you to customize all your unique weapons and such. Now let me go ahead and show you the rest of Riverhelm. I also just mentioned that if you want to get this special type of armor, which is the King of Riverhelm armor, then you would want to, click the chest, and I'll show you the armor. The new armor looks quite appealing as well. This is my Jarl of Ivarstead armor, which I'm going to show you pretty soon. But this is the King of Riverhelm armor, and as you can see, it looks very uniquely medieval. So with that being said, I'll show you the rest of the castle, including the arena and the city part. Okay, but before then, let me go ahead and show you a little neat thing that they added in this mod. And I think it's quite unique. I can mount defensive soldiers on this border right here, which basically, I can actually spawn my own little invasion if I want to. So I can keep adding soldiers. I can also recruit soldiers from the recruiter up here, including some pretty elite guards. I can summon in a new unit called Croakers, which are basically, I can't remember what they're called. Algonians, I believe, or Argonians. But let me go ahead and show you what I mean.
We're under attack. Defend your home and your people for Riverhelm.
Now, as you can see, the croakers who are actually showing new shields. These are pretty much new units in the game, or I mean, not new units, but new enemies in the game, as well as the elite soldiers of my own guard. They're probably not gonna need my help because they seem pretty well organized without my support. But yes, those are the new enemies in the game. There's also other tactics that you can use, including bandit assaults on this castle. Unfortunately, there's only this castle and not the actual city wall, so it's pretty much just this only castle that you can actually defend. But the good news is they actually do have immersive patrols around these parts with both Whiterun guards and your own patrols. Now this way up here, that is my temple, which basically holds my Archmage. Over here we have a series of other buildings, including the cannot remember what this building up here is called. This is the garage. For some reason that soldier's actually walking into a tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the city part of the game, or this part of this mod. So this is the city of Riverhelm. As you can see, oh no, never mind. The battle music went away. So this is the city of Winterhelm. Now the city seems pretty large on general scale, but there are a few taverns. There's this tavern right here, and there's other taverns that follow. Now the NPCs in this game, there's a few, but not many. The main citizens are at the fireplace. I don't know why there's a fireplace here, but I can activate this catapult. And it would fling, I believe that's towards Whiterun. And let me go ahead and show you where this is on the map. Riverhelm is directly southeast of Whiterun. It's beside my other mod, Ebenvale and Castle Riverwood. It's also beside Huntingbrew Meadery, so that you can automatically just transport there. Now my other mod, which I want to show you, is right here, Ivarstead and the Falcon Nest Castle. Now, interesting enough, this is made by the same person. These two mods are made by the same exact person, but I believe that Ivarstead was a newer mod, while Riverhelm was an older version. And I believe Riverhelm was the first time trying this with a new NPC type of, leading your kingdom. Now down here we have the manor, which is basically the crypt area where they keep the draugrs. And over here is my famed arena. Let me go ahead and show you the arena because there are a few options you can do in the arena, and some of them are pretty unique. Now as you can see, this is the arena, and there are quite a few people here already. These are just NPCs, arena fans. But as you can see, there are quite a few oh, I don't know what my guard is doing. I guess that's just a reaction to the actual thing itself. But as you can see, we are completely fine, or I'm completely fine. The citizens are, it's pretty much like the Colosseum, but on an inside scale and much smaller. I can spawn a giant. And I can watch as the giant terrorizes these bandits. Or if a giant gets killed by a bandit chief. I think I'm going to spawn a couple of giants now. I'm going to go ahead and spawn me a... What can I spawn? Saber cat liver. Now as you see, the king can have fun as well, just sitting here watching this. Feels like there's an earthquake inside. But if there is a lot of trouble, the guards will start reacting to it. Because these cages, let's see if I can't take them down with my archery skills. This is the execution chamber, or the execution post, along with one prisoner, which This is one thing I didn't agree on with this mod, is that there's not many options when it comes to your guards or your NPCs. There's only a few NPCs that you can actually do things with. But all this is corrected in the later mod, Ivarstead, or sorry, Jarl of Ivarstead, which is basically not a kingdom, and it's not a fortress, but it is a castle. So with that being said, thank you guys for checking out this mod. This is called the King of Riverhelm, and I will post a link to where it is in the description. And I would give this mod a personal rating of a 6.8 out of 10 because this mod is great and all, but there are a few things missing from it. And the author even said that the boss texture, which I believe that's a acronym for something, is not updated enough, so he really couldn't do much with this mod. It is pretty good so far. It took me a while to actually find out what to do in this mod because there's not really many quests you do. There's just one single thing, and that's basically you pay for the kingdom. So yeah, this has been the King of Riverhelm. The Jarl of Ivarstead. This is a mod that basically the same author just did for the King of Riverhelm, but new and improved. This is Ivarstead. I mean, not Riverhelm. Ivarstead. Ivarstead in the actual game is just a small village. With this mod, it is enhanced to an actual kingdom of sorts. You are now the Jarl of this town, and I will show you the armor real quick. This is the armor of the Jarl of Ivarstead. I keep saying Ivarhead. This is my Jarl armor, my boots, my circlet, and my gauntlets. And as you can see, I look a lot like just an ebony soldier, but it kind of resembles ebony armor and Lord of the Rings armor in my own views. But as you can see, this is my small little kingdom, I guess. These are my soldiers. And the voice acting is okay at best. This is my punishment booth, I guess you can call it the embarrassment chambers, as well. They basically will have prisoners who have done something incredibly stupid or incredibly foolish, and I have the right to punish them. So without being said, let me go ahead and show you the bread and butter of this mod, which is the actual castle, which holds all of your kingdom responsibilities. Now, just like the regular Riverhelm mod that we did earlier, this mod also features new enemies called the Red Skulls, which are a forsworn coded new NPC enemy. Basically, they are Indians in the land of not Riverhelm. I keep saying Riverhelm. In the land of what is this map called? I can't remember what the map's called. Riften, in the land of Riften. And basically they attack your castle once in a while, or your kingdom once in a while, and they were actually hiding out in the forest and the foliage. So as you can see, this is my castle. This is where I commence all my trading. This is the barracks up here, which has quite a few soldiers in it already. For some reason my Riverhelm soldiers still following me. There are quite a few falconess, which is actually the castle's name, soldiers in this actual mod itself. So let me go ahead and show you my court. So this is my main hall of Ivarstead, or Falconess Castle if you want to call it that. And these are my court.
How can this humble steward help you?
Arnold the Steward is the one who manages my government, pretty much. So I can basically ask him what are my demands, or what are the people's demands. So let's go ahead and ask him that question.
A dealer of skooma was caught by our guards in Ivarstead lands. What should we do with him?
Nobody will sell skooma in my lands. I would say just send him to public embarrassment.
Right away. Your word is the law.
You can also do many more.
We lost some guards in the battle against the Red Skulls. Their families are devastated and in need of support. What do you think about this? Yes, my Jarl. Your will is the law.
This mod also has some interesting features, including not retribution, relations scale. Basically, if you do good deeds, you will have good review from the citizens, and if you do bad deeds, you will have bad reviews, meaning that there will be a possibility of a revolt from your own citizens. I like this because it actually adds a new type of realistic flair to the mod, Makes it feel more like a kingdom than it does just a boring old NPC mod for basically copying a Jarl mod. But this mod is much more alive than Riverhelm in my own eyes.
I lost many friends in the war. The life of a mercenary is hard, but nothing that can't be forgotten with a great night at the tavern.
Basically, Captain Magnus is a mercenary captain who, he reminds me a lot of a Game of Thrones character. But, yes, I can basically ask him to send Red Skulls to prison.
Wow, this is cruel. All right, Jarl.
May I help you?
I will command the guards to do the dirty work for you.
And that was a slip.
I break the neck. With pleasure, my Jarl. The savages will be there in a moment.
How may I help you? Titles of nobility. A stranger is begging for water and food in the town. Yes, right now.
And Arnold will act accordingly to what your to what your answers are.
May I help you?
How you get this mod is you basically just download it from Nexus, and once you do that, you how to start it off. You will come to the actual place I showed you earlier where the trade begins, and there will be somebody there basically saying that he needs a few quests done. Now, this mod is actually very interactive, unlike the other one. The quests that you commit are basically done so that you can basically play the mod later as the Jarl.
At your service.
Eventually, you will be able to not only control your population, but you will also be able to trade and other things with other Jarls and other kingdoms. Now, I can also have this guy who is my court servant to basically have a party in the ballroom.
A party with the nobles has its cost, my Jarl. It is 2,000 gold.
May I help you?
A little late on the sound, but nonetheless. So basically, all my citizens, well, mostly all of them, will report to the ballroom, which will be the place of a glorious
Titles of
party.
nobility, poems, love letters, speeches, and presentations. May I help you with my services?
Like the other mod, this mod also has secret chambers as well, including a large actual display room, which has about a bigger ratio than this entire room does right now. And these guys are my court music, which I'm not really sure why it's spelled like that. Maybe that's an old medieval term. But as you can see, there are more people coming, or there should be. My archmage, my bodyguards, and more bodyguards. And a few other citizens should be on their way pretty soon. Basically, this mod is very unique because it looks more like a castle than anything else. The other mod, it kind of resembled a castle, but it looked more like a fortress in my own view. So basically, all of the party guests will come back here, have drinks, wine, and all that, and they will converse, talk to each other. Unlike the other mod, you couldn't do that. And what I like about this mod is that it's very interactive. Even though it's not as big and not as massive as Riverhelm, it still is a very unique mod, and I recommend it to anybody who likes to have fun in Skyrim and likes to be a leader. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a unique area, and this is the prison of Ivarstead. Basically, this is where you can complete all of your heinous actions. So this is my prison, and unlike the other mod, this actually has an interactive prison system where you can actually do things to your prisoners.
My sovereign lord.
All right, all right. No violence.
Apparently he doesn't have a cell. Okay, let's just go ahead and kill him.
There are things in this prison that are worse than death, Jarl. Soon, all my pain will come to an end.
And I'm gonna go check something real quick because I want to make sure that I have enough. Oh, no, it is not closed. This is basically the pit of no return, and I've never actually gone down there. I probably should one time, but you know, maybe for this mod spotlight, I will for you guys because I've never actually been down there. So we're gonna go ahead and watch the executioner take the life of this Red Skull scum. Now, what I like about this mod is that you can do a variety of things with the prisoners. You can have them executed, you can have them freed, bribe them to be freed. It's much more introversal.
My lord.
As you can see, he's no longer menacing my town, so let's go ahead and send another one down there.
The Jarl.
There we go.
My time has come to an end. May the gods have mercy on me.
And basically he is now down here at the execution chamber, which is this thing right here. So, any last words, prisoner? Didn't think so. And this can happen a few times, that they will actually get stuck. But like I promised for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and see what's actually down here. And it's just a bunch of rocks. Lovely. And basically, like I said earlier, if you want to start this entire quest, you have to talk to Golder of the warehouse. He will give you a few quests, including basically what to do and how to rebuild this great, I guess you can call it, kingdom. And once you do that, you have full access to everything in the kingdom. You will have the Jarls, power, and more. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll be doing more spotlights pretty soon. This has been the King of Riverhelm and the Jarl of Ivarstead. Two great mods made by the same great author. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye, everybody.